Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, we are from Group 2 and today we would like to present about teaching speaking skills for selling products in English to students entrepreneurs. My name is Lorena Febrianti and my friend Sabila Umamah, and in this video I will explain how speaking skills can be taught in a more practical way, especially for students who are interested in business or already running small businesses. So, this topic is important because it connects English learning with real life situations, especially in entrepreneurship. First, let's talk about the background. Speaking skills is one of the most important skills in learning English. However, in many classrooms, students usually focus more on grammar or writing, and they don't get enough practice in speaking. At the same time, nowadays many students are not only studying but they are also starting their own businesses. For example, they sell food, clothes, accessories, or even digital products. In this situation, English becomes very useful, especially if they want to reach more customers, including international buyers. Because of that, students do not only need general English, but they also need specific speaking skills such as how to promote products, how to explain product details, and how to respond customers' questions. So, learning speaking in this context is not just about theory but also real communication that they can actually use in their daily business activities. Next, we have ESP, which stands for English for Specific Purpose. ESP is a type of English learning that is designed based on specific needs or goals. This means students do not learn English in a general way, but they learn English that is directly related to their field or interest. In this presentation, the focus is entrepreneurship, so students learn English that helps them in selling products and communicating with customers. For example, instead of learning general topics like hobbies, students learn how to introduce products, describe features, explain benefits, and persuade customers. Now, let's discuss why speaking for selling is important. The first, communicating with customers. In business, communication is key. Students need to talk to customer, answer their questions, and give clear information. If they cannot communicate well, customers may feel confused or uninterested. Second, promoting products. Speaking is used to explain products in a persuasive way. For example, students need to explain why their product is good, what makes it special, and why customers should buy it. And the third, building customer trust. When students speak clearly and confidently, customer will feel more comfortable and trust the seller. On the other hand, if they hesitate or cannot explain properly, customer might doubt the product. So, speaking skill is not only about language ability but also about confidence, persuasion, and professionalism. And the next, let's look at the learning objective. First, students are able to introduce products. This means they can clearly explain what the product is, including its name and basic information. And the second, describe features and benefits, students should be able to explain what the product has, such as materials or functions, and also explain why it is useful for customers. And the third, respond to customers. And students need to be able to answer questions, handle simple conversations, and respond politely. These objectives are designed to prepare students for real communication in selling situations, not just classroom activities. And now we move to key expressions. These are simple and practical sentences that students can use when selling products. For example, this product is made of blah blah blah. This expression is used to explain the material, which is important because customers often want to know the quality. And it is suitable for blah blah blah. This is used for explain who the product is for example, teenagers, students, or daily use. The price is blah blah blah. This is important to give clear information about the cost. And would you like to try? This is a polite way to avoid the product and encourage customers. And by learning these expressions, students can communicate more easily, especially if they are still beginners in speaking English.
Next is teaching media. First, role play. This allows students to practice directly as a seller and a customer, so they can experience real communication. Second, pictures or real products. Using real objects helps students describe something more clearly and makes learning more concrete. Third, social media simulation. This is very relevant because many students sell products online, so they can practice speaking as if they are promoting products on platforms like Instagram or TikTok. This media help make the learning process more interactive, engaging, and closer to real-life situations. Now, let's look at the teaching activities. First, introduction. The teacher explains the topic, including vocabulary and expressions. Second, modeling. The teacher gives an example conversation so students know how to speak properly. Third, practice. Students practice in pairs or groups through role play. 4. Performance. Students perform in front of the class to show their speaking ability. This step-by-step process is important because it helps students build their confidence gradually from understanding to practicing and finally performing. For example, students can do a role-play activity. One student acts as a seller and another acts as a customer. For example, the seller says, "Hello, can I help you?" The student replies, "Yes, what is this product?" Then, they continue the conversation by describing the product and asking questions. This activity is very effective because students practice real communication, not just memorizing sentences. Next is assessment. There are 4 main aspects to evaluate students. First, fluency. How smoothly they speak without too many pauses. Second, vocabulary. The variety and accuracy of words they use. Third, confidence. How confident they are when speaking. Fourth, interaction. How well they respond and communicate with others. This aspect helps teachers measure students' real speaking ability in a practical context. In conclusion, speaking skills plays a very important role in entrepreneurship. Through ESP, learning becomes more focused and relevant to students' real needs. In addition, activities like role play can help students practice speaking in a realistic way and improve their confidence. Therefore, teaching speaking through ESP is an effective way to prepare students for real-world communication, especially in business. Thank you for your attention. We hope this presentation gives a clear understanding about how speaking skills can be taught in a more practical way. If you have any questions, we would be happy to answer. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.